Welcome survivors, I'm GP back from holiday to bring you even more ARK 2 exclusive news and tidbits, also with some much needed clarification for lots of the speculation going around the ARK community since ARK 2 was announced way back in December 2020. Now, I had a very honoured opportunity to chat privately with Studio Wildcard CEO Doug Kennedy, who absolutely surprised me after he watched my last video about ARK 2 on mobile and offered to reach out. I can't thank Doug enough. So in today's video, we're going to be covering ARK 2 platforms, ARK 1 and 2 mobile, upcoming ARK news, and combined with that one, ARK 2 PC platforms. But survivors, before we jump into that, please do me a huge favour and hit like, subscribe and share this with all of your tribe mates, as there's some interesting ARK topics to share around, and let's get the ARK 2 hype train moving! Right then, now some of this is public information posted in the comments of my previous video covering ARK 2 mobile news, so if you haven't seen that, I'll put up a link now so you can check it out later on after this video. I will be sharing screenshots of those posts from Doug Kennedy, but I'll only be sharing select segments from our private conversation on screen, as I do respect both Doug's and my own privacy. So starting with probably the biggest piece of speculation going around the ARK community about ARK 2 and whether it's coming to PlayStation. Now some speculate it is later on after Xbox, and some say it is never coming to PlayStation. Whether that's what they believe or whether they're just trolling the PlayStation community, who knows, but some others prefer to hold judgment on that until they see official confirmation. So as you can see here, Doug commented on my previous video saying ARK 2 will be coming to all platforms in time, including PlayStation and Nintendo platforms. In my conversation, Doug also said to me, I'll say this, it is always our plan to make ARK and ARK 2 available on as many platforms as possible for as many people possible. So at some point, you can expect Switch and PlayStation in that mix. So there we have it survivors, after having not heard a single word from Studio Wildcard about ARK 2 on PlayStation since December 2020, we finally have official confirmation from the CEO of Studio Wildcard that there are plans to bring it to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Now the key words there are in time and at some point. This is clear that these platforms will get ARK 2 at a later time, which is what it was expected because Xbox is getting at least a console exclusive release, but this is confirmation. So anyone that says ARK 2 is not coming to PlayStation, well, you can now be satisfied that this is not the case. I really do hope this brings some good relief to the PlayStation community and also the Switch community as well, because after getting news of ARK 1 being completely revamped for that platform, they are also getting the news now that they will at some point in the future be getting ARK 2. This is fantastic news. So the next topic, just want to cover very briefly. Most of the news about ARK 2 I covered in my last video, where Studio Wildcard looking for a new mobile developer, but further clarification was provided by Doug on this topic, in that interviews are currently being carried out with mobile developers to not only work on ARK 2, but also to continue development on ARK 1 on mobile. Now, from my understanding, ARK 1 hasn't received any updates in a long time, mainly just events. But this confirms there are plans with a different studio at some point to continue its development. So hopefully this will also bring the ARK mobile community some good news that ARK 1 will be getting development at some point in the future and also be able to join in the ARK 2 action. So the next topic discussed with Doug Kennedy was upcoming news. Now this is more about clarification of when to expect ARK 2 related news as opposed to actual ARK 2 news. So we know that ARK have said before that news is coming soon, but well, soon is like how long is a piece of string? So Doug told me that they have a bunch of news coming in the next 2 weeks. Lots of stuff. That is exactly what he said. So this conversation took place on Saturday just gone, so that was the 28th of May, and as we all know, there are some big gaming events coming up in the next 2 weeks, such as Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase, the Summer Games Fest, and even ARK's own 7th anniversary is coming up. Now, no detail on what event or what form this news will take place was given, but it confirms the community's speculation that ARK 2 news is coming in June, and more importantly in the next 2 weeks from now. So I also asked Doug about the PC platforms and what the plans are for those. As we all know, ARK is currently on Steam, Epic and Windows 10. And although speculation is very high with Steam, as no one can see ARK moving away from the very powerful mod workshop there's not been any specific confirmation of PC platforms, particularly at launch. So when I asked Doug, he responded with, "We will announce our PC plans in the month of June." So further confirmation to expect ARK 2 news in the next 2 weeks, with at least some detail about what PC platforms they have plans for. So whether there will be a release date or any new in-game footage provided, well, we still have to wait to find out on that. And last but not least, Doug closed off our conversation with, "I can tell you that the studio, our partners and all of the platforms we're engaged with are extremely excited about what we are developing, and when you add ARK 2 with the animated television series and the prospects for future media platforms, we have a lot of excitement planned for the next several years." So there we have it. Yes, it's getting me really excited already. Doug was high on energy. I could tell he is very excited about what is to come. And it sounds like we're going to be getting a taste of that ourselves in the next 2 weeks. Finally, survivors, news is coming in the next 2 weeks. I just wanted to thank Doug Kennedy for the opportunity to have this exclusive chat, and more importantly to provide some much needed clarification on very hot topics within the ARK community, such as PlayStation getting ARK 2. It was an honour for me to bring all of this to the survivors out there. Please drop a comment below and let me know what you think and what you are most excited about in the next few weeks. Thanks again, survivors. Please like, subscribe and share this around. It means so much to me, and I'll see you next time.